And starts now is right now. Good morning. It's 7 o'clock. It is a Friday. TGIF. Thank
Mhm.
goodness it's Friday. And who are you?
I know, right? The stranger.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, you came back dressed for the microphone.
Yeah, I know I match. Yep.
Faded red today. You are
Yeah.
wearing,
Yep.
and I'm wearing bright red.
You're wearing bright red.
Go
Yep.
Cards tonight. First round of playoffs.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I'm Rayford Brown,
I'm Kelly Knapp.
and welcome into the Friday edition. And Cardinals travel all the way to Rocky Mount tonight to take on the folks up there, and hopefully they will be bringing home a victory, another victory. That would be great. And if you can't go to the game, you can listen to it right here on this station at this frequency, 97.1, right where you're listening right now. Or you can go to www.sme971.com, click on Listen Live, and you can follow the game there. If you got a radio app thing, a bobber for one of those cell phone Duma wackies, and you want to listen to it on your cell phone, there are any number of radio apps that have us on it, or one of them that the only one that I use is Simple Radio
Yeah.
because I'm simple.
Me too.
Just download Simple Radio. If you don't know how to do it, call Tim Thomas. He'll be glad to help you.
Mm-hmm.
It's what he did for me.
Yeah.
And it's not that tough. They're out there. I found out how to do it. So I've done it on 2 more phones since then because I keep breaking them. They just don't work. So you're getting along all right. You're good to go.
No, not really. So, and I will go ahead and put it out there. If anybody hears me coughing,
When
and
they hear you coughing,
yeah, because trust me, it will happen. I have bronchitis, pretty decent case of it, no less. It's according to the X-rays, it's not pneumonia yet, and I say yet because it's
don't
me.
even go there.
Yeah, but so I just want to. If you hear me coughing, it is not COVID. It is not RSV. It's not the flu. Trust me, I've had 9 COVID tests, an RSV test, and a flu test. Let me tell you,
Really?
yes. Let me tell you what, that flu test was no joke.
Hmm.
It hurt worse than any of the other ones. I haven't had a flu test probably ever in my life.
I don't think I've ever had
I'm
one
gonna
either.
tell you, I'll take a COVID test over a flu test. They jab that thing up there. Oh my word! Oh my! I guarantee they touch my brain. Guaranteed. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, so I promise you, as I talk, it makes me cough. So you're gonna hear me coughing, but just know I'm not infecting Rayford with anything.
Nope.
I'm just literally struggling to breathe. So yeah.
Well, it'll be fine.
Yep.
It'll be fine.
So but the gang is back together here.
Yep. And,
So
you came in. We had
Mhm.
for you. We had a brand new.
I'm telling you, they've
entrance.
changed the green room out there.
Yeah, it's still gray, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
the boys here at Earl Jones Music School.
Mhm.
They have put in a recording studio.
They have.
So they're going to use it, and they are using it, I guess, to record some of the students who want to
Mhm.
hear themselves. And to do that, you got to do it so it sounds right, not just stick a microphone out there because
Agreed.
that doesn't work. Doesn't work at all.
It's very high tech out there right now. I'm impressed.
It's a full,
They
honest to goodness recording
they
studio.
put some money into that. I mean, I like it.
Mm-hmm. So it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Coming up at 7:30 this morning, we're going to be talking about a powwow.
Yes.
You know what a powwow is?
I know exactly what it is,
Oh,
and it was amazing last year. So
I didn't go, but I went to one many years ago down in Brunswick County or Columbus County, or the Siouan powwow.
Mhm.
The Sioux is in Sioux Indian
Yeah.
powwow, and I had a blast.
Yeah.
It was just interesting. About the same time of year, cool. And they were cooking venison on
Mhm.
open fires. They were doing all sorts of cool stuff. So I enjoyed it, and I went there for my work, but it was
Mhm.
a weekend, so I had the weekend duty, and I did it. I liked it. So we're going to talk about the Onslow Veterans Powwow,
Awesome.
national event. So
Yeah.
well, of Native Americans. That's coming up at 7:30. Raquel Painter will be in here joining us at 8 o'clock by phone. I got Richard Crowder from Crowder and Sons Landscaping. He's going to join us. That is one of the busiest people
I'm telling
in
you.
North
Yeah.
Carolina because
Yeah.
he doesn't just stay in Onslow County. He's in Onslow County. That's the headquarters. But they've taken on a big project, and he told me last night. He said we're either wrapping it up last night, or tomorrow. He said, but I'll call you as long as you call and remind me to do it. And I will do that because he gets caught up in doing. When he starts working, he gets caught up in it.
Right.
And they go from sunrise till well beyond sunset these days. And speaking of sunset, It's going to get dark earlier beginning Sunday.
Well, I'm just trying to. I was thinking about that this morning because when I got in here and I came late because I was coughing and
Mm-hmm.
couldn't function, so I got in here later than normal, and it was still dark when I came in.
Yeah.
So my question for you is: so when the time changes Sunday, is it still going to be dark early in the morning?
No.
And I'm trying to figure out how if you're going back an hour and an
Just
hour
don't even don't
because I'm
try,
trying to wrap my
don't
head
try
around
to
this.
wrap your head
Okay.
around it. Just accept the fact that
Okay. I'll
we
accept
will
it.
go on the air Monday 1 hour later,
Yes.
but it will still be 7:00.
Right.
So at 8:00 this morning, I want you to run out there
Mm-hmm.
and take a look outside and see how light it is,
'Cause
because
that's
that's
how
what
it's
it
gonna
will
be.
be
Okay.
on Monday.
Okay.
Now, does that help you?
Yes, because I was
Good.
trying to visualize this and I was like, wait a minute. Okay. Now it makes sense. Okay. Thank you for
You
that.
just move.
I
You just
needed
move the
that.
clocks back. That's
Yeah.
all you're doing.
Okay.
So
See,
right now it will be a Monday morning. It'll be 6:07 right now.
right. See, this lack of oxygen has affected me. Like my
Apparently,
reasoning skills are not up to
I think
par.
you've just been having to hang around Robin too much.
I don't know. I found that app. Remember the one I showed you?
Oh, Robin, you're done, dude.
The
Because I got my hands on it now.
Oh my God. This
Oh, you're done.
friend
You're toast.
showed me this app and you put a person's face on a video.
And so,
I
what
was
person do you have available to you? You had two
I
of
had
them.
I experimented last night with Robin on my work on these videos.
He
Oh
finally
my
told you to
goodness.
stop it.
Yes, he's like, you need to put that down. And I showed Rayford one of my creations this morning because I was laying there coughing. I couldn't do anything else.
Oh,
This is the
Robin,
greatest app ever.
Robin,
Yes.
she's already sent it to me.
Yes.
Robin, for a fee,
You will not post it. 'Cause I was like, he's like, do not show that video to
that would be
anybody.
blackmail if I did that.
Yeah.
But I said for a fee. I didn't make any
That's
promises.
true. You didn't say anything after that. True.
Anybody want to chat this morning? We got from now until about 7:30 to talk, and so get your stuff in early. I don't know with having any more time after that. I don't know. 910-333-0139. You missed Tim yesterday. He was in here in the studio, and he was just funny. I had a couple of people that talked to me yesterday when I was talking to them. They liked him when he comes in. And Steve yesterday called in and said, God, Tim, you just really never know what a person looks like when all you do is ever just hear them. Matt, just picture all the people that you've talked to in your life, and then you have never seen them in person. And then when you see them, you don't look at all like you sound.
Correct.
I mean, so many people have told me that. And they did so yesterday about Tim too. So anyway, he's just funny.
I love Tim.
Nice
I've got
guy.
to get to his house.
A nice guy.
Yeah.
Really nice guy.
See my critters over there. Yeah. Wait, do we have a new computer in here?
No, we have an extra monitor right now.
Okay.
I'm going to hook that up to something.
I just happened to look up and see that. Like, wait, that thing just caught my eye. It's huge.
I'm probably going to put it up there.
Okay.
And maybe. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I had it outside in what is now the recording studio.
Correct. Okay.
And never had it hooked up to anything, but now I'm going to put it. I may just put it up behind us or something. I don't know what I'm going to do with it.
I did notice it when I walked in.
Yeah.
Man, I'm out of it. I'm more out of it than I thought I was.
Yeah, things are changing. Okay. Let's get into a little stuff here this morning, because I'm kind of like one of my things, right?
Okay.
It matters not. I don't care whether you got a D or an R beside your name.
Correct.
With every passing day, I'm going to mess with everybody right now, right?
Okay.
With every day that gets by, the difference between the political rhetoric, that's a word that actually means Bravo Sierra, from either party is sounding more and more alike. Both parties, there's not much of difference between the two parties. You understand that, right? They're accusing each other for their philosophies may be different, but their actions and their attitudes and their methods of operation, they're the same. They accuse each other of the same things.
Okay.
And guess what? Both are right. The problem is that neither can even see what they're doing. They're living in a bubble, attacking the other side. News stories and editorials disguised as news stories are all over our newspaper and TV broadcasts. Forget about the really out there political sites that don't even pretend to be fair. I'm not talking about those things. I'm talking about the news media, newspapers, and TV. The outnumbered co-hosts, for instance, slam President Biden over what the political right, not the extreme right, there is a difference there, what the political right claims was a controversial speech at Union Station in Washington on Wednesday evening, when the president repeated his warning about threats to democracy. There are no threats coming from the Republican Party that will challenge democracy. We don't live in a democracy. We live in a republic. This is a republic. What he said, threats to Democrats. That's what he really meant.
Yeah.
That's the interpretation. Threats to democracy? No. Our system is a republic, and we will remain democratic. We will continue to be democratic, not Democratic Party. There's a difference. In an opinion piece, Douglas McKinnon wrote, when it's all said and done, maybe Hillary Clinton would rather throw away the chances of Democrats in national elections and hide her "I'm better than you" contempt for working class Americans. That's what he said about her. Donald Trump, on a radio show this week, outright said that the so-called break-in at Nancy and Paul Pelosi's California home was not a break-in at all. It was a breakout. He claimed that the glass was broken from the inside, not from the outside.
Now we're just getting stupid.
That's what I said.
This is just beyond stupid.
Naturally, the investigation discounts that political red herring.
Yes.
And after reading his comments, I could not make heads or tails actually of what he was trying to say. He's about as disjointed as Biden when he talks now.
I'm beginning to think that. Yes.
Really, they're two peas in a pod, just in different parts of the world. Then you have Biden and others shortly after learning of the attack, blaming the rhetoric that Trump spouts off, stirring up people, causing them to do bad things. Could we all just put mufflers on them or duct tape, one or the other?
Yeah.
Duct tape works great, by the way. Good thing a hammer was the weapon in this case and not an AR style of weapon, because the Second Amendment, all gun manufacturers and every gun owner out there would be under attack. Seldom, if ever, does either side get it right. Often, most often, both sides are guilty. Blaming the other guy serves no one. No one. It only shows their sophomoric attitude. It indeed sounds like children complaining to their parents that the other sibling gets away with everything, but I always get caught. That's what they say. Don't you know, you had kids? They blame each other for something.
They still do that. And they're grown. Yeah.
I've said this before. I want you to try something. With a state trooper, if you're driving 90 in a 70 zone on the interstate, he's going to pull you over and you're going to say, "Hey, sir, it's okay." The other cars are driving faster than I was. You know his response?
Yeah, I know what he's going to say. "I didn't pull them over. I pulled you over."
Yeah, but you're the one I caught. It's going to be his basic response.
I wouldn't even try that argument with somebody. Yeah.
It happens all the time.
I guarantee you there's some nonsense. I'd love to ride with them at times just to hear the stuff people say.
Well, some of it gets released on body camera footage these days.
Yeah.
It's but the whole thing is the Democrats blame the Republicans for this or that. The Republicans, in turn, blame the Democrats for doing exactly the same thing. And neither side advances. I'm tired of what occurred on January 6th. I don't care. I really don't care. I care about inflation. Neither party is talking about that.
Yeah.
They're
avoiding
they're
that.
sloughing it over because both parties are guilty. You understand? I want to know what you're going to do about the inflation rate. I want to know what you're going to do about the southern border. Nobody's talking about it.
We don't even hear about that anymore.
Oh, we hear who is it? Is it Arizona that's put big containers out there to stop people from coming across? That ain't going to work.
No, I'll just throw a rope over,
That's a
climb up,
little,
and jump back
that
down.
takes a
Yeah.
rope ladder and jump
Yeah,
up,
that's what I'm
done.
saying. Now, you could rappel that quick.
It'll
I can
slow
even
them.
do that, and I'm pitiful.
It'll slow them down.
Yeah.
But that's about all. It's it's a visual.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do about the southern border? Millions of people are coming into this country. What are you going to do about the 22 veterans who commit suicide every day? What are you going to do? County commissioners are going to hear about the adolescent suicide rate in Onslow County on Monday, special meeting. That's one of the things they're going to be talking about. By the way, I saw the agenda yesterday. We got a problem in this country. It's a multifaceted problem. It's all over the place. And there's not one person that can fix it.
No.
Not even a village of idiots can fix it. Because we got 435 in one house and 100 in another house, and they ain't fixed it yet. They got no solutions. All they want to do is attack the other party.
Yeah.
After November 8th, after next Tuesday, it's going to stay the same. I don't care what the outcome in Washington is, as far as who owns the Senate or who owns the House. I don't care. It's going to be the same. There's the blame game. That's all they're doing. We are playing the blame game.
Well, that's why, in my opinion, this whole concept, and I've still seen it on Facebook, of voting strictly because of, the party you're in is, if you do that, shame on you. Because I am here to tell you, there are candidates running locally, and I'm talking locally. I'm not talking.
Oh, I'm talking locally too.
Yeah. That are, in my opinion, not fit for the office they're running for. In my opinion, they don't have anybody's best interest at heart.
And you're in that same party. You remember that same party.
And I'm in that party. Let me just be clear about that. Always been. I am 53 years old, registered first to vote when I was 18. And I was guilty in the past of simply voting straight party. Back in the day, you could literally check that little box. They don't have that box now. Now you have to physically go in but no more, because I have learned, and as all of you guys out there should have learned, if nothing else, through this whole Eric Whitfield debacle, why you just should not vote for somebody simply because of the letter behind their name.
Eric did the greatest service to Onslow County for Onslow County voters.
I think he woke up a lot of people. He didn't wake
here.
everybody up, but he made it. He showed what has been going on for a long time.
Yep.
Please do not think for one second this is something new.
No.
People just got away with. Look, Richard Burr is a prime example.
Oh, do nothing, Burr.
That idiot has been elected I don't know how many times, and he's done nothing for North Carolina ever. Y'all find me one thing that fool has actually done. Nothing.
I've talked to him on the air twice.
Yeah.
And the only reason
it was probably talking in circles.
And actually, I got stuff out of him. The only reason that I got him on the air is because Walter Jones confronted him one day.
Okay. That's why. Okay. Well, good for Walter for doing that. Because I
had Congressman Walter Jones at that time. He was a friend of the station.
Yeah.
Of the
was.
show.
Yeah, he was
a great friend of the show.
Yeah.
And I said, why can't your cohort over there in the Senate? Why can't you convince him to come on the show? He has never been on the show. And I said, no. I put in a request after request after request. Well, I finally got him on the show. And you know the first thing he told me? He said, I understand you're a police officer, you were. And I said, well, it seems like you did your homework too.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
I think he did some of his homework, Rayford.
Oh, he did some of his homework.
But I will tell local people, if you have not gone to vote yet, or you're waiting till Tuesday,
make sure you vote.
Make sure you vote, but do not vote for somebody simply because of the letter behind their name. Because I am telling you, some people with letters that are in my same party haven't done anything locally. Some are unwilling to bend.
Some have fought.
Yes. One in particular.
What others in the party wanted.
Yep. What the citizens have wanted.
What the citizens have demanded. And there's one stumbling block between what the citizens want and what the citizens want is not, they don't want an extra tax. They want the opportunity to be able to vote on it, whether they should get it or not, and let the majority rule.
Yeah.
One person stands between your right
and has
That's
repeatedly.
what happens.
And people that vote because of that letter, shame on you for doing it, and you can't complain when your property taxes get raised.
Oh,
Don't you complain about
they've
it
already been raised.
because there was an option available that can't be taken because of this individual. And I'll say this, and the school board race, which is a incredibly important race. And as someone whose grandson is now in the public school system here in Onslow County, he wasn't before, I'm paying close attention to who gets put on that school board because it's important to me. I do have a dog in the fight now. And I'm not flat out not voting simply because of a letter, because I'm going to tell you this, there's a top candidate running that are not in my party. And they're the best one running, got the most willing to listen and the best ideas, in my opinion. That's a Kelly opinion, folks. So take it for what you want. If you think I don't know, I'm talking about
do your
good.
homework.
I did my homework.
That's
though.
all you need
Yeah.
to do. Do your homework.
Yes.
Kelly's not trying to tell you how to vote.
No.
She's telling you to vote for the
And
right
I'm
person.
saying do your homework.
That you think is the right person, not because it's got a D or an R there.
You can go online and look at those forms. Those forms were very telling. You can go look at social media that's currently running out there, running amok as usual. I hate social media. And it is running amok. Yep. So let's take a break because I got to go cough.
You're live in local Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME. We'll be right back with weather. All right, the specials down at Tideline Marine. If I could keep these pop-ups from popping up, would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Specials down at Tideline Marine are getting some attention, as they should, and you should be taking the opportunity to stock up on the lures that actually work in the White Oak and New Rivers. Whether it's a mirror lure or several varieties of artificial soft baits, the Tideline Marine Pro staff includes professional fishing guides who make sure that the Tideline customers can choose the same baits that they use. A professional guide has got to catch fish. Otherwise, his customers ain't going to be coming back.
I agree with that.
So, I mean,
Yes.
they pay good money, but
Yes.
so they know what they want to use. There's some specials going on at Tideline. One of those is 15% off bait and tackle for veterans and active duty military through the 15th.
Sweet.
15% off. If you got some ideas, you like lamps?
I love lamps.
They got a lot of lamps there left over from the gift shop days, 50% off for the month of November.
I'm about to go check
50%
those
off.
out.
That's
Okay.
half price, y'all.
Mhm.
A lot of them are nautical themes, if not all. I think all of them have some sort of a nautical theme. 20% off of all remaining gift shop items. 20% off.
Well, if you got a beach house, that'd be the perfect place
This
to
is
go.
the perfect place to
go
go
to-
to outfit your beach house.
Entirely. Heck
Or
yeah.
buy a gift for somebody who has a
Yes,
beach house.
absolutely.
Perfect place. Tideline Marine, 159 Old Bridge Street on the banks of the New River in downtown Jacksonville. Winds today out of the east, 10 to 15. Seas 4 to 6 offshore, 2 to 3 near shore. Dominant period 6 seconds. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop. Tomorrow, southeasterly winds 10 to 15. Seas 4 to 6, 3 to 4 near shore. Dominant period 7 seconds. I sound like I've got whatever you got.
I'm telling you, I pass it on to you.
Dominant period 7 seconds. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop. And on Sunday, easterly winds 5 to 10. Northeasterly in the afternoon 10 to 15. 4 to 6 footers, except 3 to 4 near shore.
Today, mostly sunny, a high of 77. Tonight, partly cloudy, low of 65. It's warm. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high of 81. Little gusty. We could have gusts as high as 20 miles an hour. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, low of 64. And on Sunday, partly sunny, high of 80. Good weekend. Warm.
It's looking nice.
Yeah.
Looking nice. This
Yeah.
is November.
Yeah.
But it's going to get cool here in a little while. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving this year. First of all, it's going to be near the end of the hurricane season.
hmm
And we've got a couple of little things out there that are brewing that
We do.
we've been looking at.
Yep.
And
We were talking about that earlier.
yeah, it's not really anything that's going to have a major impact on us along the East Coast
We're
right
just
now.
going to get some rain.
Yeah, there's a system to the east. Well, right now it's to the southeast of Bermuda,
Mhm,
and it's east of the Bahamas,
mhm.
and it's kind of going in a westerly direction. It's what they call a disturbance.
Yeah.
I get disturbed all the time.
Yeah, me too.
Usually it's political
Yeah.
or stupid, one or the
Mhm.
other. But this thing is not going to have much of an impact. There was a hurricane out there up to the northeast of that,
Mhm.
and it's headed to your part of the world.
I know
or
it
was.
is. Yeah. I talked
Martin,
to him over there.
Hurricane
Yeah.
Martin, but it's gone. It's just
Yeah.
disappeared from radar
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah.
Then down in the Bay of Campeche, Lisa, a tropical storm, winds now much reduced. It came
Mhm.
ashore from the Caribbean into Central America as a hurricane.
Into Belize. Yeah.
Yeah, it's now maximum sustained winds are at 30 miles per hour,
Okay.
and it's zipping along at about 10 miles an hour, moving west-northwestward now. It was moving westward. Not likely to have much of an impact. It's likely to make landfall again, which will kill it. That's
I was wondering if it was going to cross over and go into the Pacific.
no, it's moving up, kind of up along the contour
Okay.
of the
So
coast
it's
right
it's
now.
going to die off.
Yeah,
Okay.
it
Yeah.
just won't make it. We have a special guest in the
We
studio,
do, we
Raquel
do.
Painter. How are you, Raquel?
Good morning. I am doing well. Thanks
Good.
for having me.
Oh, our pleasure. We appreciate you coming in. Powwow.
Yes.
Yes, Powwow weekend, and you guys just said we're going to have beautiful weather. So thank you
Absolutely.
for that.
It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be a great weekend for that, and it's just really cool. Powwow, that's an American native type term, dates way back in
Mhm.
the days when they used to have cowboy and Indian TV shows and movies and whatever. They were always talking about a powwow here and there. The thing I recall about it was the dancing.
We're going to have plenty of dancing
Are
this
ya?
weekend. Yes,
Oh.
yes.
Okay.
We're going to have Aztec dancers come in.
Really?
Gonna,
Honest to
yes,
goodness?
yes.
Oh boy,
I love
Yes.
it.
that's gonna be
Mhm.
nice.
Yeah, so we got a
That
nice
sounds awesome.
treat. And the good thing about it, it's a veterans powwow. So our Aztec dancers are coming from Fort Bragg. They're in the Army. Yeah.
Really?
Yes. Yes. So
Oh,
we
that's
got
pretty
people
cool.
coming from all over the state of North Carolina to be a
Excellent.
part of our powwow.
All right.
We're also going to have a hoop dancer. We got a champion traditional dancer that's stationed right here at Camp Lejeune.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this is all military oriented,
Orientated.
but
Yes.
anybody can go, of course.
Anybody can go, and it's free due to our lovely sponsors. So it's free admission, and it's open to the public.
Where's it going to be and what times?
It's going to be at the American Legion, kicking off Saturday. We're going to open up the gates at 10, but the grand entry and the honoring the veterans will be at noon.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's
So,
good
and we
to-
got our schedule already lined out. We got it out there on our Facebook page and our website.
Mhm.
So
And
people,
that is, how did they look for it?
onslowpowwow.org
Mhm.
is the website. And then Onslow Powwow on Facebook pop us up. We're on Facebook and Instagram under the same name.
Good. Okay. That's an easy one to find.
Yes.
I went to a Siouan powwow sometime in the late 70s, early 80s down in Lake Waccamaw area.
Yes.
I don't remember whether it was in Brunswick or actually Columbus, but he was in that neck of the woods. I was impressed. This was very authentic looking
hmm
and acting, and people were cooking on over open fires. And one of the things that, of course, got my attention, they were cooking venison
Oh,
because
yes.
deer season was in. I just thought it was just cool to be able to walk and see realistically how things were,
Yes.
including with the teepees. They
hmm
had a number of those set up. Looked like a little village.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, we're going to have a teepee at our powwow.
Okay.
Yes. So,
I'm looking at the schedule. Yep.
yes, yes. So we'll have a teepee set up throughout the day for people come through who haven't experienced being inside a teepee. We're going to have it set up to really talk about natives in the military throughout history. So we'll have
Oh yeah, the wind talkers.
yes, the code talkers.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah, that was like really cool.
it changed. Well, it changed the trajectory of the war
I
for
did.
us.
Yeah. And what we're talking about, for you folks who do not know, what was the tribe?
Navajos.
Navajo. Yes.
Mhm.
They had they could talk over radio. They talked in their native language, which was never written down.
Mhm.
So the enemy had absolutely, what is this?
Yes, had no idea.
No clue.
And what's unique about it is Japanese were very good at deciphering codes.
Well, not
but
that.
Not that one. Yes.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
Japanese and Germans both were working on that, and was not working for them.
No,
like it.
no. And speaking of the code talkers, we actually had some that were in Vietnam.
Mhm.
And so our head veteran was one of the 6 code talkers from Vietnam.
Really?
He's going to be at the powwow leading
Oh, my
the
God.
veterans throughout the circle.
Oh,
Yes. And he lives right here in Jacksonville.
we've got to get him on the air one day.
Oh, yes.
We could have a blast with that.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
So,
yeah.
because that stuff is handed down from generation to generation. There's
Mhm.
nothing written down about things
No.
like that. They don't know. I don't.
love it.
Has it ever been written down? Is it still?
I think now most languages are written.
I think they are too.
Just like even my language, there's only 300 words to the
Really?
Sioux language. Only 300 words. So obviously, they didn't have laptops or that type of stuff back then. So I think we probably got to make up words for those.
Yeah, they have to do something different.
Yeah, but it's very basic.
Okay, well that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at this schedule. And so for people that don't know, this is for Saturday and Sunday.
Mhm, it's a
So it's a
weekend event.
2-day, it's a weekend event.
Mhm.
Saturday it goes till 9 and Sunday it goes till 5. But for those that want to see, for example, starting at 1 on Saturday, there's an Aztec dance exhibition. It says followed by
Those are
intertribal.
from the guys from
Yep.
Fort Bragg.
Mhm.
And then at 2, the hoop dance exhibition. And it says followed by intertribal. So what does that mean?
So intertribal is all the nations get
So
to
they
go
got
in the
together.
circle
Okay.
and dance together.
Oh, man.
Mhm.
And then at 3, the smoke and war dance exhibition is happening. And then at 4 is a flute player. 5, the flag retrieval. Then a dinner break for the dancers and the drummers. And at 5:15, the flag retirement ceremony. And at 6, another grand entry. At 7, tiny tots. But I bet that's too cute.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
And then at 7:30, the men's Northern traditional dance exhibition. See, and then at 8, the women's jingle dance. I've seen one of those before.
Mm.
So this is like I mean, I highly recommend. We talked about it last year. We had Raquel
Yeah,
on here last year, and a lot of our listeners went, and
Yes.
they sent us messages about how amazing this was. And because, if you're not Indian, you would have never, or Native American, you would have never experienced this.
Yes.
And a lot of
Mhm.
them had never experienced it. And they were just fascinated. Like, it was just so interesting to them. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's free.
Yeah.
It's
Free is
free.
like the greatest word ever. It's
Mhm.
free.
Yeah.
Go over to, the fairgrounds / American Legion for the, some people know it as American Legion, some know Fairgrounds. So both go there. And there's vendors. They're going to be food
Oh,
vendors.
yes. We got food
I want to
vendors.
talk about the food
Food
vendors
is good.
when we come
Mhm.
back. Okay.
Okay.
So let's. You talk about food, you get my attention real fast. You're live in local Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME, and we'll be right back. And we're back in the studio with us is Raquel Painter. She heading up part of this huge Native American weekend coming up called a powwow. You gonna smoke the peace pipe?
We actually got the Inipi or the Sweat Lodge. Most people know we're doing it tonight and
Really?
tomorrow night.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
That's nice.
Mhm.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Lots of history here that you folks just don't understand, you don't know about. Now, one of the events, by the way, all of this stuff is, we got a link to it on our Facebook page
Yeah.
too, for the show Facebook page.
Yeah.
So if you you want more, just go to our Facebook page and it'll take you right straight to them.
Mhm.
No problem. One of the we talked about it before the break, vendors,
Yes.
and some of that. Can I get a taste of Native American food?
Yes. Yes.
Authentic.
Our big one is fry bread. So a lot of people wonder, well, what the heck is fry bread?
Fry bread.
But it's fried bread. Yes, and it is absolutely delicious. But really, it came to becoming part of our diet because of we call them commodities or commods from the government,
Uh-huh.
and it was made from those items that were given to the natives on the reservation.
Now,
Mhm.
okay, so fry bread, is that anything like lacy cornbread? Do you know what goes in it?
I've never even heard of that.
I don't know
Raven.
what lacy cornbread
I
is.
don't
What
either.
goes in fry bread?
Just regular bread, just like you would make
Flour?
flour. Yeah,
Okay, that's
Mhm.
probably what.
Flour, the yeast, water, milk.
Yep, that's
Mhm.
pretty much. You've never heard of lacy cornbread?
No.
Oh my
Are you
goodness
making
gracious!
that up?
No, I am not making it up.
I've never heard, and I'm from North Carolina, and I've never heard
Oh,
of
you're
that.
from the northern part
I'm
of North
from
Carolina.
Rockingham County, where we're way more country than down here. I've never heard of that,
Oh,
Raven.
no, it's a thing with oysters too.
Well, you make it with oysters?
No, you
Oh.
eat it with oysters.
Oh, never heard of it.
It's basically flour and a cornmeal, and I think they put a little flour in it, and a little salt and whatever, and water, and you mix it up kind of like pancakes.
Mhm.
But it's you dump it out into hot grease, and it just fries. And the lacy part comes from the fringes where
Okay.
it's not so
Yeah, I
thick
know what you're
around the
talking about.
edges, and it looks like lace.
Oh,
I've never heard of it,
I've
but I
never heard
could
of it,
totally
but-
visualize what it looks
Oh, it
like.
is so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It is really
It's
good.
almost like how you
Anything
cook
fried
hush
is
puppies.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. My doctor would not agree with that, but yes, yes.
it's good to eat, not good for you necessarily. But anyway,
Yeah.
okay, well, anyway, I digress. Um, it, they're going to be cooking on scene, on location, right?
Yes, on location. So we have 2 native vendors there, and
Mhm.
then a lot of our local vendors, our food trucks are coming in.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yay.
And then we have a lot of oh my gosh, this was amazing to me. But we got vendors coming from New York, New Jersey, and Minnesota.
No. Native
Mhm.
American
Native
vendors?
American vendors.
So if
But
you
to
can
have
get
Native American
American,
vendors out of Minnesota, that was a huge
that was
population
a huge
there.
population.
Oh
Oh my
yeah.
goodness, this is awesome.
Yeah.
So people
So
that
we're
want to
all
purchase, Native American products, you're getting the real deal. Once again, folks, this is free
This
to
is
come to.
authentic.
So come.
Mhm.
Now the vendor items aren't free, but what I'm saying is coming to the event is free. It's a good thing to take your family to.
I can smell the food cooking right now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
my stomach's growling, so if you hear that, I'm just letting y'all know. I haven't eaten lately because I've been sick. So
Well, you can get
Oh,
over
the
that.
sound is
yeah.
my
They
stomach
got
growling.
stuff that'll cure you.
We'll get you
Yeah.
some good food out there.
I'm hungry. Yeah.
Got a medicine man out there. That's what you really need.
I
Oh
do need
yeah,
that.
yeah. You
Yeah,
probably
find
need
me a
to come to
medicine
the
man.
sweat.
Yeah.
Sweat it
I
off.
Sweat
need
it
that.
out.
Yeah. Actually, that would because the hot
It would
showers
work.
help my
Yeah.
breathing. Yeah.
Mhm.
I might have to
Yeah.
actually come do
How
that.
about a mud bath? Can she
Mhm.
get one of those too?
I don't know how good that would be, but
Yeah, I don't know.
this day and age, it's not
It'd
like
probably
it
make
used to
it
be.
worse.
Yes, I think it would. Yeah.
Yeah, we got dirty mud now.
So we've got local food vendors, we've got Native American food vendors, you've got Native American product vendors. I mean, this is an awesome thing.
Yeah. We got total of 38 vendors.
Wow.
Now, last
38
year, you told me
vendors,
during the
yeah.
break you had a bunch of people show up post COVID.
Yes,
They
we had
finally got out of the
yeah.
house, and this was a great place to go.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, and we had a great weekend. Weather was good, and it
Mhm.
was our first event last year, and we had over 3,200 spectators come
Wow.
through.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially considering we were still,
Yeah,
coming out
it
of
was-
COVID.
Yeah.
People weren't quite sure, but they came out in numbers for us. So I really think we're gonna double that this year.
Well, we had like I said, I had a few people that went last year that only knew about it because we had you on here last year talking
Yeah.
about it, and they went. And back in, I think it was September, one of them contacted me and asked me, "Hey, are they doing the power this year?" I'm like, "Absolutely, yes, they actually
Yes.
are." So that made an impression on them. They were like, "Awesome, we're bringing the
Wonderful.
family again." They loved it. And they said our kids thought this was the greatest thing.
Yeah. I mean, especially for children because
Oh.
they're seeing a different
Mhm.
culture.
They've
Correct.
heard
Yeah.
it, but they don't. It's still a foreign
It's still
thing.
yeah,
They don't get it.
yeah.
They
I
don't
know
get it.
for the longest time, when I was younger and I'd go somewhere, they would still ask if I lived in a teepee or,
Mhm.
just
Yeah,
because
'cause you
they
don't
only
know.
see us
Yeah.
from TV, what
Yes.
TV portrays.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
So
Tell you a little story. You know who Jay Silverheels was?
No.
He played Tonto. He was real honest
Oh,
to goodness
okay.
Native
On the Lone
American.
Ranger?
On the Lone Ranger.
Mhm.
Well, his son lives in Wilmington.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And my cousin had one-on-one conversations with him one day. My cousin's an avid Western historian type thing and everything. He shoots guns, historic guns, and they do
Oh,
targets,
okay.
all sorts of stuff. So he's got a lot of history built around him. So he met Jay Silverhill's son. I forgot his name in Wilmington,
Mhm.
and they were talking. And he said, "Yeah, growing up as a boy, a little boy, Native American little boy,
Mhm.
in wherever they were, Hollywood area, so somewhere in California." He said, we had all sorts of people, John Wayne coming over to the house, all these people coming over to the house. And as a little boy, I was scared to death of them. Why? Because all I'd ever been to were movies, didn't have TV. I went to movies, and all these guys were shooting Indians.
Oh,
I knew you were gonna say that. I had a
yes.
feeling that's where you were going.
That's the way he
That's how we
put it.
perceived them.
That was his
Yeah.
perception at the time.
Mhm. Interesting, but makes sense.
It does. It makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense. Anyway,
Mhm.
okay, let's take a break. You're live and local real talk. If you got a question, we'll have Raquel in here for a few more minutes. You got a question? Give us a call at 910-333-0139. We'll be right back. And we're wrapping up here. Thank you, Raquel, for coming in this morning. We do appreciate it and enlightening us, bringing us some information about the big powwow this weekend.
Yes.
So-
Thank you for having me.
Okay, just to reiterate, it's going to be Saturday and Sunday. Starts at
The doors open at 10,
10.
but the opening ceremony,
Big
I
ceremony.
guess what I'll call it, starts at noon.
mhm.
The dancers start really at 1 o'clock.
Hmm.
I am encouraging everybody, if you're looking for something to do, bring your family, go. It's free to get in.
Yep.
You will not be disappointed. Bring your kids, bring your neighbors, just come out and experience this, because like I said, we had Raquel on last year who talked about this, and people went specifically because they heard, and they had a blast.
Yeah, more
Yeah.
than 3,200 last year. Let's we probably could
Yeah.
double
Oh,
that
I think
this year
it'll double
without any
this year.
trouble.
Mhm.
Easy.
That would be great. 2 days, 2
Mhm.
full days. Saturday goes until
Till
what
9
time?
o'clock.
9
9
o'clock at
o'clock.
nighttime. Sunday
Mhm.
Till
ends
5.
at
Till
5.
5.
Okay.
Mhm.
So you got 2 chances out there, and you can go both days if you want to.
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
from what I'm hearing, I don't think you can see it all or experience it all in one day.
Nope.
So
No.
And
Yeah.
TP demonstrations tonight. They're having the sweat
Sweat Lodge.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, they're having again tomorrow as well.
Yes. Mhm.
I mean, Native American vendors from as far as Minnesota. You want some good Native American product, and I'm gonna tell you, this stuff is going to be durable. It's going to be amazing. This isn't, some made in China, whatever, that's made to look Native American.
No.
This is made from authentic Native American people. So, and they've came. She said New York,
New York, New Jersey,
New Jersey, Minnesota. I mean, this is huge.
I'm
and then
assuming somebody's coming from Cherokee.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We got.
Well, they don't have
people
far
from
drive
Cherokee.
over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we've got a few Native American food vendors, so you can
Mhm.
actually experience Native American food. And you say the fry bread is amazing.
It's
I get it.
amazing.
And then we've got local food vendors too. So food will not be a problem. Vendors will not be a problem.
Mhm.
You get to see dancing. You
Weather's
get to
not
go
gonna
in
be
a
a problem
teepee. The weather's going to be amazing. So no excuse. Come out.
And again, if you want to learn more about it, you can find it online. You can Google it straight away if you want to, or go to our Facebook page.
Yeah.
And check it out, because we got links to it.
We do.
everything.
We put this, and I believe the schedule's up there too. So I
Yeah.
pulled it up here on my phone.
Mhm.
That's how I need the schedule. So absolutely, highly recommend. Highly recommend.
And November is also Native American Heritage Month. So
Yes, it
what a
is.
good time to come celebrate Native
love it.
Americans.
Yes.
The,
Yes.
all right. And we'll just keep all the politics out of it.
Heck yeah.
This has been 30 minutes. I haven't had to talk about politics. I
Love
love
it.
it. I love it. This is cool. This is a great event.
And one thing to remind everybody too, this event's also a Native American veterans event. So it's to
Yes.
definitely highlight our Native American veterans who have fought for your ability, A, to be able to live free in this country, and B, to be able to go to events like this.
Mhm.
So make sure
Mhm.
you recognize them as well.
Yes, please.
Yes. But we do honor all veterans.
All veterans,
So
absolutely, yes.
at the grand entry, once we bring in all the dancers and the flags and the Eagle staff, we'll ask all veterans in active duty to come out into the ring, and then we'll honor them with a song.
Oh my
Take 'em
goodness,
around
that
the
is
ring.
so awesome.
Mhm.
So non-Native American veterans are being honored too. This
Yep,
is even
all
it gets
veterans.
better. See, it
All
just got better.
Mhm.
Love it.
Raquel, thank you.
Yes,
Thank you,
Thanks for
guys.
enlightening us.
I
And
always
thanks-
enjoy
thanks
coming
for
here.
wearing
Oh,
my
yeah.
color on a
It's
Friday.
Friday.
It's Friday red, and that's for law enforcement and also for the Jacksonville High Cardinals.
Or remember everyone deploy.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Always.
Red, remember everyone
Mhm.
deployed. That's right.
There's a good
Yep.
reason for this.
Yes.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll be back on the other side. We'll be checking in with our landscaping expert,
Mhm.
Richard Crowder of Crowder and Sons Landscaping. I want to know about. There's not a whole lot of landscaping that I do during the wintertime, right? But you should.
I don't even want to hear this
Yes,
because
you
I know I'm
should.
so far behind the curve right
And,
now.
and Robin says he's going to buy you an umbrella for your next event next year.
I don't believe that for 1 second.
Well,
Yeah.
I promised him that you would. I promised
Look,
him that he should buy
He's
one.
got to up the ante now that I found out they make an air conditioned riding lawnmower.
I mentioned that.
That's what I want right there. I don't want an umbrella now. Or a tarp, or what was it? Tim wanted a canopy. No, now that I know they make that, that's what I want.
You want air conditioning and radio in it too, right?
Yeah, I can bring my phone, but yeah, radio will work too. But I
No,
can
well,
just
I
use
mean,
my
big
phone.
stereo
Yeah.
type.
But air
Big
conditioning
speakers.
is a must. I'll be like
Do
enclosed.
you want a passenger seat, for like maybe Robin or?
No, I'll be in there just listening to my tunes by myself.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. No, how about one for your doggies?
No, just want to be alone. They follow me all over the house. Absolutely not. You need some peace and quiet.
On our lawnmower.
Yeah. Mowing the yard is actually therapeutic, believe it or not. So is working in your garden, for that
It's
matter.
noisy.
Well, if I'm inside my little enclosed area, it won't be. Yeah.
Raquel, thank you. We get
Yeah,
nuts
thank
around
you,
here sometimes.
guys.
You're live and local, Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. We'll be right back. Yeah. Put your phone down. I'm just trying to reach out there. Richard Crowder should be calling in here in just a second. If not, I'll call him. I can do that too. I got his number, and I want to check. He's a busy man. He's
He
really,
is.
really out there, extremely busy.
And just so we know,
Uh,
online simple radio and stuff is not working, and that's not our issue. That would be a studio issue. So
Yeah, it's a computer issue
yeah.
somewhere. I don't know. It may not be with us.
hmm
There, we got companies that um, they handle this stuff for us.
Yes.
It's outsourcing.
Yeah. So, but we've got people, listening on YouTube
We
and
do.
on the actual radio. So,
Yeah, on YouTube you can listen to us if you have to
or
do it
see us
online
too.
and see us.
Yeah, I'm looking
Hey,
kind of
I'm
tragic
baby.
today, but yeah.
And you can also listen to us over the air
Mhm.
at 11:20 a.m. if you're out of the area, or 97.1.
Yep.
You're good to go
Yep.
right there. Richard Crowder, good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, Rayford. You forgot to say about Simple Radios, which is the way I listen to you when I'm out of town.
Well,
It's not working today.
Normally it's working, but for some reason today it's not working. I don't know
Nope.
what's going on.
Yeah.
So hard to say. Technology.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's one of those electronic devices, and
It's the government censoring us. That's what
that
it is.
could be what it is
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. All our political talk
Could
at
be.
times. Yeah.
Richard Crowder of Crowder and Sons Landscaping Extraordinaire. I know that for a fact because they did some work for me last year
Mhm.
and did a great job. We do appreciate that. And you've given enough advice to me that actually allowed me to get squash this year and cucumbers this year and tomatoes this year, all sorts of cool stuff. In fact, we had some the eggplant parmesan last night that Robbie made and froze. I did not know you could do that, but she did, and it was so good.
I didn't know you could freeze it either. So
Well,
cooking part I leave to my wife.
yeah, well, I do too on things like that because she's the smart one. It ain't me. I can tell you that right now.
So I
Richard,
understand that statement completely.
yeah, Richard, the wintertime is generally kind of like a downtime for a lot of folks, so we don't have to get out and mow our lawn so much, and we don't have to do this or that. Maybe have to rake a few leaves from time to time, but there is work to be done during the wintertime and during the down season to get ready for next year, right?
Well, oh, it is. I mean, it is a lot of work to do. And, time rolls back this week. There's, well, I guess Kelly would be able to speak more into this than I can, but there's supposedly a disorder called SAD disorder, which is seasonal affective disorder, and that's just where people pile up in the house a little more.
Yep.
But you don't have to do that. You can still spend ample time outside doing your normal hobbies, things of that nature. Just because the grass looks brown doesn't mean nothing's still going on. Leaves are now falling. Don't just leave the leaves laying. Go ahead and get them up. It's good exercise. It's good for your heart. Well, I guess if you have azaleas, you shouldn't prune them now. You should have pruned them after they bloom. But so that's a little late. But you have other bushes and trees you can go ahead and be pruning. You can remulch your yard right now so it looks better and get some insulation for the winter for your bulbs. I mean, we have lots of things we can do.
Now, the insulation for your bulbs or just taking care of some of the other products. I got several fruit trees. Is there anything special we should do for those, like the persimmon trees, the fig trees? Anything we should do now to get them ready for next year?
After the leaves completely fall off, I would say you can probably go ahead and prune them. A lot of people wait until January or so to do it, but leaves are gone. Go ahead and do it. There's been discussion for, I guess, since the beginning of time, when's a good time to prune the tree. I was always taught when you had a sharp knife in your pocket was a good time to prune your tree. So go ahead and prune your tree.
Okay. Now, sometimes I notice especially the persimmon trees that they're dead branches. Parts of it, they just die. Other new shoots come up and kind of take their place, new growth over the years. When should we cut those off?
Any dead branches, I would cut them off immediately when you identify them. I can't speak specifically to prunes, but apple trees, pear trees, peach trees, they only grow fruit on the first or second year branches. So if you want to keep getting fruit, you have to keep pruning them so you get those first or second year branches.
I did not know that. That's brand new news here.
Yeah, peach tree, it only grows peaches on first year branches. Any other branch after that, after that branch has peaches on it, will never have peaches again. Apples, I think, are second year branches, and so on and so on.
Okay, well, that's good news.
I didn't know that.
Fertilizing, we don't want to do it right now anymore, do we?
That's actually a misconception. If you've had your analysis done on your soil, it is a good time to put a winterizer type fertilizer down. But don't fertilize if you haven't had your analysis done, because it can be a pollutant to our waterways. And it's getting to be good oyster time. And I just don't want my waterways polluted.
No, I don't either. We had an algae bloom in Sneeze Ferry, a couple of them this fall. And they said right away that it looked like it was caused by runoff. If you're living near the water, any source of water, it's going to end up somewhere in our rivers, creeks, and even the ocean.
That is correct. Every one of those little metal grates that you see on the side of the road that the rainwater goes in, all that water ends up in our waterway. It'll end up in the New River and in the ocean, basically where we live. And if you over fertilize your yard, that's way too much nitrogen. That's great. I mean, if you like the algae blooms, there you go. Keep doing it. But I personally don't like them because it's a pollutant.
Yeah, I agree with you. Okay, so after the first of the year, we get through Christmas, Thanksgiving, and then Christmas. We should kind of get hardcore ready for gardening and all that sort of good stuff too, right?
Yes. One thing you want to do, you want to start after the first of the year, go ahead and start adding some compost in. Go ahead and kind of turn the dirt over, because all the little seeds that you can't see that the birds dropped in, or that was hanging on to a bee or another pollinator that was pollinating your plants that dropped off a seed, go ahead and turn it over. Those seeds, if they get 3 to 4 inches deep, they'll just die. They won't regerminate most of the time. So that's one of the best ways of weed prevention, is turning your soil.
I hadn't thought about that. So you're planting them deep and they just don't come up.
That's right.
All right. I like
Yeah, most
that.
of the weed seeds you see in your yard can't handle anything being with more than an inch of dirt on top of it, and they just die.
Okay. I like that. Now, I've seen yards, especially out in the country, because you can't do it in the city limits pretty much anywhere. But I've seen people burn their grass off, their dead grass, that brown stuff, during this time of
Yep.
year and a little bit later. They set fire to it and just kind of push it along. And they say it kills bugs and does this, does that. Is this just an old wives' tale or what?
That is partially an old wives' tale. Most of the bugs in the soil, that fire will go so fast it doesn't do anything to them. The best thing it's good for, it helps cut down some of the thatch in your lawn, and so that's the best thing it does. But you can do the same thing by spending some time outside with a rake and keep on and just rake it out.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. Thatch
But
is,
basically, burning the yard is really an old wives' tale.
yeah. Okay. All right. That's what I used to hear. I just always liked the smell of it, though. So my grandmother used to set fire to it and burn it all off, burn the old leaves
Right.
off, burn the old grass off, and everything else.
Yep. That's just really a way to keep from having to rake it. So.
Okay. So we can rake it, though. We can rake up our leaves and we can compost those as well. Can we not?
That is correct. And if you want to mulch some up and leave it on there, just a little bit of it, that is good. They will break down and add organics and things of that nature to your soil. But the average yard you see in the city with a lot of oak trees, things of that nature, you can't just mulch all of them up and think it's not going to smother your grass.
Mhm. All right. Now I know you've been working out of town a lot. Your business, Crowder and Son Landscaping, it's a thriving business year round. I know that. Are there
and
some
today
things?
is my last day out of town.
Yeah, coming home. Come on back.
Celebrating.
Yeah, I can understand. If we have questions, if I know you don't go out and mow lawns for people in most cases, but you do planning for them. If they want to redo
Yes.
their landscaping plan, maybe they're going to put in a new driveway, a circle driveway, or do things like that. You guys are available for that, right?
Yes, we are. We do a lot of those, and anybody wants a plan for their house. We feel like we have good, reasonable rates for design and installation, and so we take a lot of pride in what we do.
How can they reach you?
They can reach me at 910-286-0206.
Folks, give him a call. He might not answer it because he's still a busy man, but he will call you back. 910-286-0206, Crowder and Sons Landscaping. And you got all sorts of heavy equipment you can use. And there's no job that is too big for them. They can help you.
Yep, there's no job too big and no job too small. So we like it. We like to do all of them.
Very good. All right, Richard. Yeah, I'm glad to see you coming back to Onslow.
Yeah, me too.
Right.
All right,
and I'll see you. I'll see you tomorrow too.
All right, drag Kelly along.
I'll drag Kelly along. I'll tell her all about it.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Richard Crowder and Sons Landscaping, 910-286-0206. Got a great company there.
Mm-hmm. But he's from my neck of the woods. We're both from Rockingham County. Yeah. So he's a buddy.
Let's talk about Rockingham County in a situation that's up there right now for just a minute. You got the inside track on it.
I do have the inside track. This guy.
Young guy's in the jailhouse now, and he's probably not going to get out.
He'll never get out, in my opinion. But yeah.
61-year-old dude got popped.
Because he's acting a fool, Rayford.
Let's just do this. Eden, right?
Eden, like in the Bible. Eden, North Carolina.
It's only got 5 people living there.
Those like 30,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
30,000 in the county.
In the city.
In the city. Okay.
The county has over 100,000.
Okay.
But
so this dude, he lives there.
He does.
And you got one hardware store or something like that.
Yeah, we don't have like let me explain to y'all. We don't have a Lowe's. We don't have anything. We've got Tractor Supply. If you want to go to Lowe's, you have to go to Greensboro, which will take you like 20 minutes to get to,
Or Virginia.
or Danville, Virginia, which is not far, or even Martinsville. But most people go to Danville because it's just easier. So it's it's not like Jacksonville where you can just go to Lowe's or Home Depot. We don't have any of that. We, like I said, we literally have a Tractor Supply and we have a Walmart, and then we have a one like local hardware store, like Kelly's Hardware or whatever. So, but we have a lot of local businesses, a lot, and the downtown historic district has been revived. I mean, it's amazing. But regardless, this guy, I have been talking to people, back home,
and everybody knew him.
A lot. He was known. How he got caught. So apparently, back in September, the neighbors called in a complaint of noise to him
About him
making a lot of noise. I don't
Right.
know what kind of a noise complaint, but Eden Police Department responded, and they told him to keep the noise down. He told them, "F you, I'm not going to do it." That's literally what my friend on PD said. That's literally what he said. I'm not doing it. So the neighbor, and it was happening at night. People trying to sleep. I mean, So finally, they ended up giving him a city ordinance violation, and he's actually was scheduled to appear on November 3rd, which would have been yesterday, for that violation. Fast forward to October the 19th of this year. A concerned citizen was in the local hardware. So, this is how you're dumb. Started asking questions about the chemical makeups in fertilizer, specifically how much nitrogen goes in them.
Oh, you're done.
So, right the fact, somebody heard it. It wasn't even the employees that called the police. It was somebody in there. They went to the Eden Police Department and said, "We got a problem here. Here's what's happening." So they started an investigation. They started doing some investigation and found he even had a list made up, and he had made comments to people that he wasn't going to court. And he also delivered letters.
Wasn't going to court. Why was he going to court?
Apparently, he wrote letters to Sheriff Sam Page and the Eden Police Chief, and they raised concern to both law enforcement agencies about this guy. So they started doing an investigation. They started checking as they put it, his intentions, mindset, and abilities. During this 2 weeks, they discovered that he purchased components consistent with constructing explosive devices. And they started interviewing his neighbors, because apparently one of my friends told me this guy had put big giant signs in his yard threatening the police. I mean, he was just threatening everybody. So they started getting more detail of his comments, and they said there was an immediate concern to himself, law enforcement, and the public. So on November 2nd, which would have been Tuesday, they obtained an arrest warrant for him for one count of manufacturing possession of a weapon of mass destruction, specifically an explosive device. And the Eden Police Department consulted with the district attorney, and they contacted FBI, ATF, and SBI. And they all said, "You've got to get this." I mean, they had enough information. They knew this guy was a problem. So they got a search warrant as well. So apparently he wasn't at home, or he fled. That part I'm not sure about, but he was arrested at an intersection of Primitive Street and the Boulevard, which I know, and he lives on the Boulevard. So I know exactly where this location is. At the time of his arrest, they located a flare gun with shotgun shells and multiple fixed blade knives.
Okay.
What's a fixed blade knife? I don't even know what that is.
That's like a hunting knife.
Oh, okay. Okay. So he's walking around with that. Anyway, what is interesting, because there's been an update to this. So they secured yesterday, SBI, the bomb squad was called out to his house. In initial search, they had located multiple bombs. So the FBI emergency response team has now been called in to come in. I mean, this guy had just gone
He's been making
crazy.
stuff.
Yes, to the point where they've had to call. So they have, and believe it or not, the street between the boulevard between Manley Street and Primitive is closed until further notice. That's how much stuff this guy had in his house.
Well, it'll take a while to analyze it, secure it.
And they said until the conclusion of the investigation, the street is remaining closed.
Good.
So initially, when they first arrested him, because Rockingham County is so extra, they had given him with a $7 million bond, which they look, I'm gonna tell you right now, my hometown, we don't have a lot going on, so they don't play. They just said, okay, we'll make sure
if
this
he's
guy's
going to get out, the
Yeah.
county's going to be rich.
Yes. So then after all this craziness, they have upped his bond to 10 million. And yesterday was his first appearance. Yeah. So he's thankfully, not on the streets trying to blow up a whole bunch of things.
Uh-huh.
Because someone had told me another one of his targets was a local group home. I mean, this guy, he definitely needs a mental evaluation. But I mean, if he was smart enough, and if you see his mugshot, obviously pictures are deceiving because he did, build enough bombs to call in the FBI. So that's a problem.
Mhm.
In little old Eden. But what's even worse is that he's, scared a bunch of people. The streets closed indefinitely. I mean, that's there's on the boulevard, there's businesses along there too. So they're going to have to reroute. So that was interesting. But I following this saga.
Yeah, you
So-
never know what's going to happen in a
I'm
small
telling you,
town.
and you go to Eden, North Carolina. I'm telling y'all, there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
Well, they got a lot to talk about anyway.
It's hot news up there.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
And I'll be up there next weekend, so I'm gonna go by and see what I can see. Yeah, just out of
First-hand
curiosity.
report. Breaking news. Breaking news.
Yeah. So I know we got to take a break.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a break. You're
Okay.
live and local, Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. At the bottom of the hour ish. Dumb group news.
And have I got something for you?
you've
I'm
had
about to show
several.
you a picture.
Oh, wow. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Specials. I like specials. Specials at Tideline Marine right now, getting a little bit of attention, getting a lot of attention. And you should go down if you are into fishing or boating or whatever, or you know somebody who is. It's Christmas season.
It
7 weeks till Christmas.
Yeah.
Go by and stock up for either for yourself or somebody in your family. You don't have to know what they need. They might not even know what they need as far as
True.
tackle and whatever. Just go down there because the staff at Tideline, they get information from the pro fishermen, the anglers, the professionals, the
Mhm.
commercial guys in the area who take other people fishing, and they got to catch fish. If you don't catch fish, you're not going to get a repeat customer. Repeat customers, what it's all about.
Yeah.
They got a variety of mirror lures and a number of artificial soft baits. Tideline Pro staff includes all these professional fishing guys, and they provide information to Tideline so that Tideline will buy bait so that they can buy them.
Mhm.
And that also Tideline provides those same baits for the customers. Anybody who wants it. Special
Mhm.
gifts right now, 20% off on all gift shop items. If you're a veteran or you're active duty, either one, any of the branches, 15% off on bait tackle right now through the 15th. $10 gift card anytime you buy tackle that totals out over $50. You get a $10 gift card.
Mhm.
Duh. That's like 20% off.
Yeah.
Want to buy a motor? The first three motors, the next three motors that are sold at Tideline Marine, you're going to get an extra warranty, an extended 2-year warranty plan. Okay. It's already 3 years on the motor.
Mhm.
Tideline's going to pay for another 2 years for you. If you're looking for a boat, this is your time. $2,000 off right now during November on a brand new 2100. That's a center console, 21-foot Aquasport. An Aquasport. Beautiful boats. Beautiful. There's also weekly in-store giveaways. Just stop by. You don't even have to buy anything. Write your name down, put it in the bowl, and one name will be drawn every week, and you will get a prize. How's that?
I like it.
Easterly winds today, 10 to 15, seas 4 to 6, up 2 to 3 near shore. Dominant period 6 seconds, sounds and rivers a moderate chop. Tomorrow, pretty much the same thing, except the winds will switch around just a little bit to the southeast, 10 to 15, 4 to 6 footers offshore. Dominant period 7 seconds, and sounds and rivers will still have a moderate chop. Sunday, winds out of the east 5 to 10, becoming northeasterly 10 to 15 in the afternoon. Seas still 4 to 6, 3 to 4 near shore.
Today, mostly sunny, a high of 77. Tonight, partly cloudy, low of 65. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high of 81, great for the powwow. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, low of 64. Sunday, partly sunny, high of 80. And then Monday, partly sunny, high of 79. Not bad.
Nice.
I like it.
Summertime is back. It
It
never left
is.
us, really.
Yes.
Got some special news and a gift from China, another one.
Mhm.
In an inspection of an ocean-going vessel from China at a Louisiana port,
I saw
agents
this.
discovered 4 Asian gypsy moth egg masses on board the Panamanian freighter.
And it's a bad thing.
The moth is an invasive species that could have caused significant damage to the U.S. landscape and the countryside.
Yep.
Border Patrol officers became suspicious when they determined the ship had sailed from a port in China in an area known as a high-risk area for Asian gypsy moth. U.S. officials ordered the ship to leave the port in Louisiana and anchor up somewhere in international waters, strongly suggesting the crew do a thorough cleaning of all decks before trying to dock again at a U.S. port to unload goods from China. Several days goes by. The ship was allowed to return and unload its cargo. The U.S. Department of Agriculture says the Asian gypsy moth is an exotic pest not established in the United States. They are similar to European gypsy moths found in the northwestern part of the U.S., but the Asian variety has a broader range, and that makes them much more dangerous.
Yeah, they're big time dangerous. Yeah.
Female moths can lay hundreds of eggs. They yield hundreds of caterpillars that can feed on more than 500 plant species here in the U.S. Thank God somebody is looking out for our best interests. If only the FDA would inspect more than the 2% of all seafood coming into this country, I'd feel much better about that too.
Mhm.
Uh-oh. Well, we got that tone. Stand by. Let's see if I can make it go away. Still got it. Stand by.
There it
Oh,
is.
I think I got it. Good morning. Who's this?
You might have it now.
I got it.
Yeah.
I got
You
it.
talking about females laying all them eggs.
Yep.
The male chauvinist pigs are going to start up again.
Oink, oink.
I figured I'd turn that screw a little bit. Kelly been off all week.
Yeah,
I had to get
yeah,
that
that's
started.
okay.
She's
Go
been
for
off
it.
about a month, I think.
Yeah, it feels like it.
Yeah, I'm glad you were talking about the big city of Eden, dear
I'm
heart.
telling you.
'Cause I haven't seen that city in about 20-some years. But
Yeah.
it's huge.
They got everything going on now. We got the FBI involved. I mean, good gracious.
Yeah. Have to put it in the
Yeah,
traffic
man,
light.
they just put Eden on the map. Used to go by Eden all the time. Headed
Yeah.
up there in Virginia that
Yeah.
way from Greensboro.
Yep.
Greasyboro is what we call it.
Yep.
Oh, but yeah.
Yep, you have to go through it.
So I had 2 phone calls, and I want y'all to read. I don't know if they got to call you, but please tell them where the powwow is going to be. They asked me, where's it at? Where's that, man? I don't
Okay.
know. I didn't get to hear that
We've said
part.
it several times. American Legion, that also
I
known
know.
as fairgrounds and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
So the American
Yeah,
Legion,
but you know how
Broadhurst
people
Drive.
just don't listen.
Yep.
Yeah.
The American
On
Legion
Broadhurst Drive.
/ the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
Right in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Yep. It's gonna be amazing.
And
free.
well, yeah, I can't be there. I got something else I got planned out, but I know it's going to be a big deal,
Yeah.
and it's going to get bigger every year.
Yeah, I hope so.
And with this station promoting it too, I mean, we got 13.5 listeners at least.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
they'll get that. So 13.5. You know, we got a pregnant, and I call that the 13th when she's pregnant. So
Okay.
she's halfway through. She got a hat.
Yeah.
But what I called about, I listened to Steve yesterday, and I had to run. Sorry, I had to go see the sugar doctor. I'm a little too sweet. And talking about Steve laughing, didn't I? And I got to thinking about Steve. I got a guy that I work with, and his voice is similar to Steve. So I picture Steve, and I guarantee he's not how I picture him. But it tickled me. I figured Steve pictured me as somebody with old long scraggly hair and a long beard, overalls, and a water red man on each side of his jowls, and I figured that's how he had me pictured anyway. But I wanted to tell Steve, I know he's listening. I picture you as about 6 foot tall, probably about 260 pounds, and you probably got a beard or goatee and a mustache. And because like I said, he probably ain't. And like I said, that's the way I picture him. He's got Steve has a wonderful voice. He could do voiceovers and cartoons and narrators with his voice. Now, I love his voice. I mean, I wish my voice was more like that because he's got a good, entertaining voice. He'd have been great in radio. I really think he'd have been great in radio. And but yeah, I want to kick back on Steve like that. I'm sorry I disappointed you on how I look, but I am a sexy human being in the dark, Steve. I just want to let you know that. I mean, I am a sexy beast. And when the sun comes up, I'm just a beast. I'm sorry, but yeah, it tickled me when I listened to it on the way to Wilmington. It tickled me to death. But y'all, it's well, as far as Steve goes, you got, like I said, you got Steve and Theo. I would love for all of us to get together, get Steve, Theo, Howard, and go sit down somewhere at a restaurant and just meet and greet and,
we're trying.
And talk about.
We're trying to.
I want that to get our wives and all that have you, and that way the wives can chime in.
How many wives you got?
Just how we really. Well, I've had some. I mean, I don't have but one. St. Diane's the only one I got, and that's the only one I need. Good gracious, she's enough. She's a plenty. But no, I like for us all to get together because a lot of people talk about, man, what Steve look like? I can't tell you. I don't know.
Well, I can tell you because I'm looking at his picture.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I don't have his picture, but it's just like when first time I met Theo, I was just dumbfounded. He was not pictured the way I wanted, the way I figured he would be.
Same here.
And yeah, I mean, love Theo. Theo is my buddy.
Theo,
and I told
love
him
Theo.
that.
Yes.
And I wish he would come on a little bit more. He's getting. I'm gonna have to get on him about that. But,
he needs to call it earlier instead of waiting to the last minute because we get jammed up with commercials.
Yeah.
At the end.
I know, I know. But we get him and Steve in the same room and get you as the referee, and you talk about a fun time. Oh my
Don't
gosh,
forget
almighty.
Doug. We got to get Doug in here
Oh
too.
Lord.
Well, yeah, we got to have Doug.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably so scared he wouldn't show up, but because he
Nah.
actually sometimes acts like he means what he says, and he should. But yeah, I can't leave Doug out either. I'm a big fan of Doug. And he don't call in sometime as often as I think he should.
He's
but
getting busy.
It's all fine. Oh yeah, I figured he would be. He's young enough. He's still having to work like a dog, like I do.
Yeah, well, he's
But
also.
yeah, I just want to holler. Kelly, glad you showed back up,
Thank
Chug.
you.
I'm glad you're feeling a whole lot better.
Well, I
And
wouldn't say
y'all
that, but I
behave.
had to come in. Yeah, I wouldn't say feeling
Well,
better, but I
that's good.
came in. Yeah. So,
Well, Dumb Creek News ain't the same without you,
well,
honey.
thank you.
So,
Thank
Well,
you.
speaking of that,
But
we're
y'all
gonna-
be good.
Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
I'm gonna get off there. Y'all be good.
All
Have a great weekend.
All right, take care. All right, we're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we got Dumb Crook News in the house. Ready?
We're gonna start in
Oh,
Texas because I
it's-
told you about this during the other break, and
Yep.
it's funny to me, but I get why. I do get why the people are upset,
Okay.
but it's still funny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's dangerous too.
it is. Yeah.
You're live and local, Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME, our number 910-333-0139. The powwow this weekend, the powwow this weekend, the powwow this weekend begins at 10 tomorrow. Doors open.
Opening ceremony at 12
noon. This is going to be at the American Legion,
at the
the
fairground.
big
Yeah.
American Legion out there on Broadhurst Road,
Yeah.
Near the school board, near the Board of Elections.
Yeah.
What
The
else is out
fairgrounds
there?
are back
Not
there,
far
yeah.
from the Triangle location, 258 and 17.
Yep.
It's right across the street from there.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Now we got it. You got it?
We got it.
All right. We'll be right back. Don't go away. And we're back live and local here.
We're gonna go to Texas.
We're going to go to Texas. Let's go down to Texas.
I'm telling you, I think
So,
look, and this has
we got a
happened this
good old
past
boy
week,
down
last
there.
week. So it was started last week when it broke. It's been happening about a month. The neighbors have dubbed this man Edward Scissorhands because at 3 in the morning he has been going around trimming people's trees.
Whether they wanted it or
They
not.
are mad as heck. And the neighbors have filed police reports, but he's caught on video. And one of the guys that actually wrote the story is a reporter, and he lives in that neighborhood.
Uh-oh.
And he was like, he went out and found that his healthy tree, but the lower limbs were kind of blocking the access to, get the trash cans up. In the past, he'd always have to pick the branch up, move them, but they were trimmed. He's like, what happened? He didn't care. He didn't say nothing about it. Well, apparently it's in Fort Worth. The neighborhood is hunting the man now. They are mad.
It's my tree, my land. I don't want you on it. If I want you to trim it, I'll ask you to trim it.
And this one guy, he's a resident, and his name is Jerry. He said he was talking to his wife, and he's like, "Hey, did we have a storm?" And she's like, "No, why?" He's like, "Well, the trees are trimmed." She said, "Oh, that's Edward Scissorhands." And he's like, "What?" Because he didn't know the neighbors like dubbed him. And he's been going around. Multiple surveillance cameras have caught this man walking at 3 a.m. his dog, and he's trimming trees to the point where he'll trim and then stand back and like admire his handiwork and then trim again. And the neighbors are like, look, we just want this guy to stop.
It's creepy.
And it is very creepy. But the worst part about it is, and there's a picture of this neighborhood. This neighborhood's fancy, y'all. Let me just go ahead and say these houses are expensive. I would say well over $500,000. They're beautiful. Well, they are in an HOA, Rayford. And the HOA has told the owners, guess what? You owe us several $100s. Didn't give a dollar amount, over 200, they said, to replace the tree. And they said, well, we're like, well, wait, we didn't do this. And the HOA said, too bad, so sad. Pay us some money. We got to replace that tree.
I would sue that HOA for aggravation.
Yes. Because, I mean.
Get all the people that are living in that HOA together.
Yeah.
And just disband the HOA. Vote to disband the HOA. That's all you got to do.
Because also, this is Texas, and the neighbors are ticked. And one of the guys is like, look, he's like, we're worried that this guy's going to get shot. Yeah. And they've got video. I'm looking right at it. I mean, I don't know if this guy lives here, or I would think, yes. Does nobody in that HOA recognize this guy? Like, I'm confused. Who walks their dogs trimming trees at 3 a.m.? That's kind of weird and creepy to me. But the one reporter that lives there, he's like, look, I'm all about keeping this guy. The trees look amazing. He's like, he does a good job. Some people have complained he's trimmed the trees too much. Others have been happy, but they're still making police reports because they're like, you're coming on our property. Well, he's standing in the street, so technically, is he on their property? He's in the road.
Yes, they own the property.
Okay.
Or they wouldn't be responsible for the trees. They own the property, but there is a right of way.
Yeah.
So the city generally controls what happens in the right of way.
The trees are in the right of way.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the pictures.
But the owners still own and pay taxes on that property.
Okay, because the tree is between the street and the sidewalk. I mean, they're not like overly big trees, but yeah, it's bizarre. So that is kind of a dumb crook. I think it's pretty cool.
We got some dumb crooks in North Carolina too, right?
We do. This lady here. I mean, this is once again
this is mean and dumb.
I think it's mean and dumb, and I also think this is an example of our judicial system not being the way it should be. Because it happened this past week. She was convicted on Monday in the 15th prosecutorial district. It happened in Columbus County. She was on Highway 74 in Columbus County. Back in 2018 is when it happened, but she's just now going to court on Monday. She she was found guilty of second-degree murder, but she only got 10 to 13 years. See,
it's not that's kind of like the going is for second-degree murder, but the circumstances of this second-degree murder.
Well, so let me tell you what happened.
Yeah.
She had fled from Wilmington PD. There was a police chase.
How did she get away from them?
She did. I agree. I don't know. Like it's bizarre. But she did somehow. she had, because she'd been passed out at intersection high on dust off, what you spray your computers with.
Yeah.
So in Columbus County, she was driving very slow, and then she stopped in the right-hand lane on a 70 miles per hour stretch of highway at night with no lights on. So truck driver was on the highway. He tried to, when he came upon her, he's in an 18-wheeler now, at the last minute, he tried to move over, but he ended up still hitting her car. It caused him to go off the road. He came to rest in some trees. His truck caught fire. He was trapped inside and he burned to death. So they showed that she was huffing dust off and taking prescription meds. So she caused this guy's death because she was just so drugged out.
Yep.
She stopped in the road in the dark.
Well, it won't be first degree, but unless there was a felony involved prior to that.
Well, how did they not, when she was involved? Because earlier in that day is when the earlier day she fled from Wilmington Police Department after being passed out behind the wheel of her vehicle from huffing dust off. Well, did they just give up on? They clearly gave up on the pursuit.
Yeah, well, they do.
And
if they only had her for a misdemeanor, that there's such an effort these days not to pursue people at high rates of speed.
Yeah. I mean, that's scary because, you got to, I guess you shouldn't, woulda, shoulda, coulda, but this man would have probably been alive had they actually apprehended her.
Well,
it's very sad because I'm not trying to put blame, but this was a dumb crook. She's just a dumb old crook.
Good morning, Steve. How are you?
Hey, good morning, guys. How y'all doing today?
I'm doing fine. What's up?
Oh, not a whole lot. I just wanted to call and say hey.
Hey.
And tell Tim I won't pick it on you, buddy. I was just making an observation of how we perceive things. It's not so much of how you look.
Yeah.
It's the same phenomenon when you hear yourself recorded for the first time and played back to you. You're like, that don't sound like me.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah. So not a reflection on you at all, buddy. Not at all. So,
I did the same thing when I first met him, and I was like, "Oh, you didn't look like anything I pictured." So I understand.
Yeah. It doesn't really matter what the person looks like. It's just a phenomenon of our perception.
It is.
So. But anyway, wanted to call this morning, just say hey to y'all and tell you have a good weekend. I've enjoyed the show this week, and Kelly, glad to see you're back.
Thank you.
I wish Lee wouldn't be in. You was in there at the same time. Seems like y'all tag teaming lately.
Yeah, we are, but we'll be in here eventually all at the same time. But
no doubt about it.
Yeah, Lee's filled in for about 2 weeks for me now, so she's taking a break. Yeah,
she needed a break from me, is what they're saying.
No, that's not what we're saying.
That's what they're saying.
No.
Anyway, just want to call and say hey. I know you're getting close to the end of the show, and you probably got one more commercial break to go through.
Now, actually, yep.
Yeah, that's it. Right. Well, y'all have a blessed weekend.
Have a good weekend.
You're live in Local Real Talk. We'll be right back. And we're back. Quickly, I'll tell you about, remind you, at 10 o'clock this morning, Freedom Fountain Observance underway.
Yes.
Okay, right downtown there in Newbridge Street and Johnson Boulevard, going down, all hosted by the Onslow Civic Affairs Committee and the City of Jacksonville. Observance will feature the Freedom Address by, let's see, who is it? Second Marine Expeditionary Force Commanding General, Lieutenant General Robert Headland. That's going to be happening this morning at 10 o'clock. Also, a performance by the White Oak High School Choir and colors by the Northside High School AFJROTC, the Air Force Junior
ROTC, yeah.
So that's happening today. And that's kind of kicking off.
There's a Veterans Parade tomorrow morning.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
The
Tomorrow
Veterans
morning is
Parade's
the
tomorrow
Veterans
morning
Day
down
Parade
Western
tomorrow
Boulevard.
morning.
Yep.
And it'll be live here on radio. And Kelly's going to be there. Lee's going to be there. Chris Mann's going to be there, Hollywood Man. And I think Chris Rayner's going to be there from Sports Talk.
Okay.
I'll be working somewhere else.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's going to be happening tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, and it's going to kick off a week of events leading up to Veterans Day next Friday.
Marine Corps birthday coming up too.
And then there's a Marine Corps birthday beginning on I think that's the 10th.
Yes.
So,
but they start now.
Oh yeah, they start. They party for a while.
Yeah.
And so,
yeah.
So it's going to be a good time.
It's going to be a very good time. So yeah, come out and tomorrow to support the veterans in the Veterans Day Parade.
Scream and holler and shout it all out too while you're there.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing.
All right, let's see. You got any more dumb crap?
I do. I got some. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, so in Arizona, they have the light rail that runs through town. You know, and so this guy, he's 26 years old. Name was Austin Sherbert. He was arrested because he tried to steal a woman's wheelchair, Rayford, with a woman in it. Like he tried to dump her out of it on the train as the train is going.
Yeah, it's just
so you can't and
no, he needs to go away.
Absolutely, so,
but he got some punishment.
Some hero passengers came to her rescue and kind of beat him down, but he got away initially. But there was those trains have surveillance cameras on there. But also everybody has a phone now.
Camera.
So people started snapping pictures of him, taking video of their scuffle and etc. They aired, thousands of people shared his picture online. I mean, it literally got shared thousands of times. And somebody, and the best part was he was wearing reindeer slippers. Yes, his little reindeer slippers.
Dumb.
And so the Phoenix Police Department reports that because of everybody sharing it, somebody called up and said, "Hey, that's Austin," and they figured out where he lived and went and apprehended him. He's still wearing his little reindeer
slippers. He's known to police, no doubt.
Yep, just stupid. They said he is not spreading holiday cheer.
There you go.
So I know we got to stop for the
day, we do, and we'll be back on Monday morning.
Yep.
We got a full week next week. Don't forget the Veterans Day Parade tomorrow. Yep. Don't forget Cardinals. They travel to Rocky Mount tonight to kick a little bit of Rocky Mount butt. How does that sound?
I like that.
I hope so.
Yeah.
It's the first round of the playoffs after the regular season. Jacksonville finished 5-4 overall, and they won, I think, 2 conference games. Was it? I believe.
Was it 2?
Yeah, I know they got at least 2, but I believe it was only 2. So they were like, it wasn't not the best season for them, but they've done a good job overall, 5-4. And so that's tonight. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock. We'll be live here on Freedom 97.1 beginning at 6:30.
Yep.
And that will be the pregame show. So stay tuned for that. Also, coming up now, right after Fox News is next. And then Sports Talk, guest today is going to be Richland's coach Pat Bird with Chris Rayner and company. And then at 10 o'clock, it's the dose of the Daily D's with Rick D's. And at 3 o'clock this afternoon, Chris Hollywood Man will be in the house. Yep. We'll see you next week. Have a great weekend. Be safe out there. Don't forget the powwow.
Yes.
Beginning tomorrow. And also it happens on Sunday and begins at 10 o'clock. And that's going to be at the American Legion building
at
the fairgrounds here in Jacksonville.
Yep.
You're live and local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m., WSME.